Hello and welcome to a beautiful Bavarian Alps. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I've left all of my fancy camera gear at home, so all I have is my little drone and this DJI Action 5 Pro action camera. I've not actually used this camera before, so it's not going to be a review of the camera, but if you are interested, I will talk about some of the reasons I bought it, and you'll be able to see some footage and decide for yourself whether or not it lives up to your expectations. Otherwise, you've come to watch a random bloke walk up a mountain, which is what I do in my spare time too, so don't worry. But whatever the reason you're here, I hope you enjoy the video. I'm going to walk up this really steep hill and come back to you a little bit later on. I'm only a few minutes into the walk and I'm already sweating. I'm going to delayer because if my clothes get wet when I eventually stop going uphill, it could be dangerous because I'll get too cold. So Bavaria's got a lot of these little chapels dotted around. It's quite a religious place, southern Germany. And yeah, in the mountains you quite often see these little, I guess, praying spots. And I could see why you'd pray. It's a very beautiful place. It seems quite a nice place to have something like this. But I'll just show you inside. So, I mean, I don't know what that says, but I can see that it says it was built in 1878, this particular one. So this is the first time I've left my big camera at home to do one of these videos, and I'm already finding it's like so much more easier just to whack it out and get some shots. Like with the big camera, I'm keeping it inside my bag, and I've got to stop, take the bag off my back, pull it out, stick the ND filter on, plug in the microphone, and then do a little bits of camera. But this is easy. I'm just whacking my camera out of my pocket. So one of the most beautiful things ever. Sun poking through some trees on a winter day. Look at that. And then you've got these massive towering peaks off to the left. Absolutely beautiful. I feel very lucky to live near these. Also, how do you feel like the camera is doing in the snow? It says that it's recording D-Log M 10-bit, and from the screen I can see that the sky is not washed out. It's completely, you can see the colours of the sky. And the snow there is obviously very illuminated. Maybe on the big screen you'll be able to tell if the details are still there or whether it's just completely blown out. I'm looking forward to, like, are my skin tones overexposed there or not? Anyway, I'm looking forward to looking at the footage, seeing if it's any good. I wasn't expecting snow, but I'm really happy that there is some snow because it just makes these mountains look so beautiful. And I was here a couple of weeks ago and it looked completely different. I'll show you some footage of that now on the top of a mountain. But yeah, it's a winter wonderland. It's the start of December and it's making me feel Christmassy. State of all that, so nice. I mean, I did look at the weather report, but in the city where I live, which is about an hour on the train away, there was no snow on the ground. So when I looked out the window this morning, I was like, yeah, I'll just bring lots of layers, but I'm wishing I brought some spikes because, yeah, within a couple of stops on the train out the city, just blanket of snow everywhere. I was, oh. And there was a man that got on the train with his skis. So yeah, I'm a little bit underprepared, but these paths are nicely marked out. And if I do come into a bit of trouble, I think it's a bit sketchy, I can always turn around. One of the good things about coming in this sort of awkward season between skiing and hiking is I seem to have the whole place to myself, which is awesome. I've come to these parts on a weekend before during the summer and nothing wrong with it, but you don't really get that solitude that you can get now on this crisp winter's day. Like, I've just seen a couple down there, but they're the only people that I've seen really on these paths. So I do feel very privileged, like I've got the whole place to myself. So I'm just coming up to this little Alpine hut. It's the first one I've seen on this trail. It's called Rainer Alm. So in the summer, these things are open to customers. So they serve coffee, cake, sandwiches, and you can pay, usually only in cash, to get a nice refreshment on the side of the slope. So some of them are little cafes, other ones are owned by private individuals who stay in them in the summer and just have it as a little retreat for them and their family. As you can see now, it's all boarded up. I've got to do it really, don't I? Yeah, absolutely stunning. I know I keep saying that, you're probably bored of me saying that. I think this is such a nice spot that I'm going to get the drone in the air as well, so I can show you it in a little bit more detail. Also, by the way, if you do fly drones, I want to recommend getting DJI Care, because I recently crashed my drone and there was a massive crack in the wing. I sent it off on like a Thursday and I got this in the post new on the Tuesday. So they acted really quickly, and that was over a weekend as well. So it was only sort of 3-4 working days, or maybe 2 working days for me to get a new drone. So get DJI Care. Just stopping there for a sec to fly the drone with my fingers out of my gloves. They got so cold, felt like they were going to drop off. So I'm going to get a bit more elevation just to warm up. But yeah, I've done about 500 meters with still quite a bit to go. So I really need to get my head down. It's about midday, gets dark at about 4. So yeah, I'm kind of always with these winter hikes, unless you get up super early, you're always chasing the sun a little bit. And there it is, poking through beautiful Bavarian forest. I'm already too hot again, so I'm going to have to delayer, otherwise I'm going to get sweaty and run into some issues when I stop. So I can see just here, there's another one of these elms where you can stop and get coffee. I'm not sure if it's open, but they're definitely open in the summer. You can get a bite to eat. You can also stay there and do the rest of the mountain early in the morning, but towering above it, just there, you probably won't be able to tell from the GoPro, there's a little cross which marks the first summit, and that's where we're going. So it's nice to actually have it in vision. It looks quite steep. There's a little dog here. Not a very friendly one. So usually the people that work in these places live there, so they sleep there and they'll serve beers and food. And so I imagine that dog belongs to them, and it's not used to seeing people so much at this time of year. Looked like a good boy / girl nonetheless, even if it did pretend to attack me. So this is where I've got to go up to the right, to Bodenschneid. Reckons it's 45 minutes up this very winding path. So I'm gonna have to take it easy. And look here, there's a nice wire to hold on to. So you see, this is the danger. You can't tell where the path is really. I mean, it looks like it's up this way, but I could have easily gone down that way and caused a minor avalanche. So obviously you're watching quite a new channel. I started this channel about 3 months ago. I wanted to do YouTube for about 10 years though, but I never really had the drive or motivation to get started. But God, no, I'm glad I finally did. But my main objective was to make sure that each video brought a little bit of value to the people that were watching it. But obviously with it being quite a small channel, the likelihood of lots of people watching the videos is quite low at this point. So I realized that I've got to make sure that the videos also bring a little bit of value to me. I really love going out in the mountains, so I thought why not make videos from it? Because it'll motivate me to do it and give me an excuse to keep doing it. So yeah, let me know if you like this sort of thing and if you're enjoying it, because I will make more. So people don't realize that you have actually got mountains in Germany. And this area near Schliersee, the lake, is in the Bavarian Alps, and it does have mountains, relatively big ones, especially by UK standards. Like the one I'm going up today is about 1650 meters, which is obviously about 300 meters taller than Ben Nevis, our highest mountain. But the highest mountain in Germany is near a place called Garmisch-Partenkirchen, which is not too far from here, but they've got Zugspitze, which is a peak that's just less than 3,000 meters tall. And at this time of year, you got to be a proper mountaineer to climb it. Wow. So I'm at the first peak of the three. I'll put the name and the height on the screen now. But you can see to the north of me, there's Lake Schliersee, and then over to the south, you've got the Alps spreading into Austria. Austria is about 20 kilometers or less from here. So it's really, really close. I'm really disorganized this morning, so I'm currently eating a train station sandwich. I got this from Muller, which is basically like German Greggs, but obviously Greggs is just miles better. Greggs is elite tier food, and everyone from the UK knows that. But you got to compromise to have these views, I suppose. Tell you what, I'm absolutely freezing. I just had to take the gloves off just before to change the battery in this camera, and they've gone numb. So I'm going to say goodbye to the first peak, knock off the last two, and then we'll get the drone in the air. I don't have much light left because it's the winter here, so the sun is soon going to go down behind those mountains. So I think I'm going to knock them off quite quickly. Okay, so I've just come down here and I'm starting to get to a point where I don't really know what's path and what's not path. I can see just up ahead, there's the second peak there in the distance, but with all of this snow here, it's coming quite heavy, so it's hard to tell what is path and what is a little bit of an overhang. And if you step on the snow overhang, you could fall and it could be very dangerous. So I think I'm just going to keep it to the one peak, back up to where I was, and then back the way I came. I'm going to fly my drone one last final time so that you can see some beautiful shots of the Bavarian Alps to end the video. But like always, thanks guys for watching. I hope you'd enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.